Let me tell you something, and I want you to listen to me very carefully right now. Because if you are retired, or if you are getting ready to step into that beautiful chapter of your life, the way you manage your money, and yes, even the way you pay your credit card bills, changes. It has to. In retirement, you are on a fixed income. You do not have room for careless mistakes. You do not have money to throw away on late fees, and you absolutely cannot afford to let your credit score take a hit because a payment got lost in the mail or you didn't understand how the system works. So today, we are answering a question that sounds so simple, yet gets so many people into trouble. What payment methods does Capital One accept to pay your bill? Now, why are we talking about this? Because I hear from people in your stage of life every single day who are absolutely terrified of making a mistake. You are worried about security. You are worried about identity theft. Some of you are holding on to old habits because they feel safe, while others are trying to navigate digital apps and feeling completely overwhelmed by the technology. You're asking yourself, if I pay online, is my money safe? If I write a check, will it get there on time? What if I make a mistake and my payment bounces? These are valid fears. But fear is only a lack of information. Once you have the facts, you have the power. So let's break down exactly what Capital One accepts, what you should do, and, more importantly, what you should never do. First, let's talk about the traditional way, mailing a paper check or a money order. Yes, Capital One still accepts these. You write your check, you put your 16-digit account number right there on the memo line, and you mail it to their payment processing center in Charlotte, North Carolina. But I need you to hear me on this. If you are still relying on the mail to pay your credit card bills, you are playing financial Russian roulette with your credit score. Capital One's policy is crystal clear. Your payment is processed on the day they receive it, not the date you postmark it. If the mail is slow, if there is a storm, if it gets delayed by even 1 day past your due date, you are going to get hit with a late fee of up to $40. And if you are 30 days late, that late payment goes on your credit report and your score can plummet by 100 points overnight. In retirement, that is a disaster you do not need. So while Capital One accepts paper checks, I want you to phase them out. It is too risky. Second, what about paying in person? If you live near a Capital One branch or a Capital One cafe, you can actually walk right up to the teller and pay your bill using cash, a personal check, or a money order. It is processed the very same day, and it is completely free. If you are someone who still craves that face-to-face human interaction, or if you prefer using cash, this is a highly secure, reliable option. But let's be honest, most of us do not live next door to a Capital One branch, and as we age, we want convenience. We don't want to have to run errands just to pay a bill. Which brings us to the third method, paying by phone. You dial the number on the back of your card, and you use their automated system to pay. It is safe, it is secure, and it is free as long as you use the automated voice prompts. To do this, Capital One requires you to provide a linked checking or savings account routing number and account number. But here is a major warning. If you call and insist on speaking to a live agent to process your payment, ask them first if there is an expedited payment fee. Sometimes, having a real person press the buttons for you can cost you. Don't pay for what you can do yourself for free. Now, let's talk about the digital age, online banking, and the Capital One mobile app. This is where Capital One wants you, and frankly, it is where you need to be to protect your money. Through their website or app, you can link your external checking or savings account, whether it's with Capital One or any other bank, and make a payment instantly. If you submit that payment before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, it posts the very same day. It is secure, it is fast, and you get an immediate digital receipt. No stamps, no waiting on the post office, no anxiety. But I want to address a critical question that I know is running through your mind. Can you pay your Capital One credit card bill using another credit card? The answer is an absolute, undeniable no. Capital One does not accept credit cards to pay off credit cards. Why? Because they are in the business of lending money, and they know that shuffling debt from one card to another is a downward spiral that leads straight to bankruptcy. You cannot borrow your way out of debt. Your payments must come from real money, assets you actually own in a checking or savings account. So, now that you know the options, what is your actionable takeaway? What do I want you to do today to secure your peace of mind? I want you to log into your Capital One account and set up AutoPay. I know. Some of you are shaking your heads. You're thinking, Susie, I don't want a computer automatically taking money out of my account. But listen to me, AutoPay is your financial guardian angel. When you set up AutoPay, you can choose to have Capital One automatically withdraw the minimum payment due or the last statement balance from your checking account every single month on your due date. If you are worried about overdrafts because you are on a fixed budget, here is your safety strategy: set your AutoPay to pay the minimum payment due. This ensures that even if you forget, even if you are traveling, even if you are sick, your bill is paid on time, and you will never get a late fee or damage your credit score. Then, you can always go online and make an extra manual payment to pay off the rest of the balance when you are ready. And to protect yourself, set up a low balance alert on your checking account. If your balance dips below a certain amount, your bank will text you immediately, so you never have to worry about an automated payment bouncing. My friends, retirement is meant to be a time of joy and relaxation, not a time of stress over due dates and postage stamps. Take control of your money. Ditch the paper checks, get online, link your checking account, and set up AutoPay. It is safe, it is smart, and you deserve that peace of mind.